Imagine if, one day, a missile warning suddenly lit up the skies over an American city. Sirens blare, panic erupts, and millions freeze in fear, unsure if this is a drill or the beginning of something catastrophic. Then confirmation, the missile was real, and it came from Iran. News spreads like wildfire. Phones buzz with alerts. TV anchors struggle to stay composed, and the world watches in disbelief. Could this be a rogue launch, or the first strike in a new global war? How did we get here, and what could happen next? In this scenario, we explore a chilling possibility, one that could shift the course of history in mere minutes. For over 4 decades, the relationship between the United States and Iran has been defined not by diplomacy, but by distrust. Following the 1979 Iranian Revolution and the subsequent hostage crisis at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, relations were severed and have never fully recovered. Since then, every administration on both sides has navigated a landscape of sanctions, nuclear negotiations, cyber warfare, and proxy conflicts across the Middle East. Iran, seeking to assert itself as a regional power, has built alliances with groups like Hezbollah and the Houthis. Meanwhile, the United States has maintained a strong military presence in the region, working closely with allies like Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. The result? A delicate balance of power, volatile but contained. Over the years, the two nations have exchanged blows not through open war, but through shadow games. Cyber attacks have taken out infrastructure. Drone strikes have eliminated key figures. Naval standoffs in the Persian Gulf have nearly sparked conflict more than once. Still, despite the tension, both sides have avoided a direct strike on each other's homeland. That is, until now. Imagine a breaking point. Perhaps a miscalculated military drill, or an intelligence failure. Or maybe a political regime, backed into a corner, decides to lash out. Suddenly, a missile is launched. Not at a base in Iraq, not at a naval ship in the Gulf, but at U.S. soil. A direct hit. The world is thrown into chaos. News spreads in seconds. Government agencies scramble to assess the damage, determine the source, and plan a response. The media speculates wildly. Social media explodes with panic, misinformation, and rage. And the global order that held nuclear-armed nations in check begins to tremble. In that single moment, decades of posturing and indirect confrontation dissolve. Diplomacy is no longer the first response. The world now watches for retaliation, escalation, and consequence. Because once a line like that is crossed, it's hard to go back. The world changes in an instant. A missile arcs through the atmosphere, launched from deep within Iran. Its target, the United States, it slams into the outskirts of a U.S. military base in Guam, damaging infrastructure, igniting fires, but miraculously, causing minimal casualties. The shockwave isn't just physical. It's political. It's global. America has been struck, and the world holds its breath. Within minutes, U.S. satellites confirm the missile's point of origin. Across the Pacific, air raid sirens scream into the night. Personnel scramble. Fighters launch into the sky. America's strategic command is on full alert. DEFCON levels shift. This isn't just an incident. It's an act of war. Hours later, the President of the United States addresses the nation and the world. "We will respond," he says. Deliberately, precisely, without hesitation. NATO members are summoned to emergency meetings. The United Nations Security Council goes into crisis session. Diplomats speak in measured tones, but their eyes reveal the truth. This is uncharted territory. Meanwhile, America's response begins in the shadows. Elite cyber units initiate countermeasures. Iran's missile defense systems blink and falter. Communications black out. Within 48 hours, American jets strike with surgical precision. Missile silos, radar installations, suspected nuclear sites, each hit calculated, each blast deliberate. In Tehran, sirens wail as missiles rain down. Iran scrambles jets. Its leaders vow vengeance. Across the Middle East, alliances tremble. Israel raises its alert level. Saudi Arabia closes its airspace. The Strait of Hormuz becomes a battlefield. Oil tankers freeze mid-route. Global shipping grinds to a halt. And the ripple effects spread. Markets plunge. Oil prices skyrocket. Gas lines stretch for miles in cities from Mumbai to Madrid. Protests break out, some denouncing Iran, others blaming the US for escalating decades of tension. In Moscow and Beijing, red phones ring. Russia condemns the US strikes as unprovoked escalation. China warns of severe consequences if stability is further threatened. Diplomatic cables fly back and forth, but no side backs down. Online, disinformation floods social media. Fake videos, doctored satellite images. Some claim it wasn't Iran at all, but a false flag. Others believe this is the beginning of World War III. In underground bunkers and command centers around the world, military strategists weigh their options. Nuclear arsenals are checked. Submarines reposition. Everyone hopes it won't come to that, but no one is certain it won't. The United States urges restraint, but continues its retaliation. Iran rallies its allies. Proxies in Iraq, Lebanon, and Syria launch missiles of their own. American embassies are evacuated. Civilian flights rerouted. The Middle East lights up, a chessboard of fire and smoke. And still, the world teeters on the edge of something irreversible. By day 5, the death toll climbs into the thousands. Not from the initial strike, but from everything that followed. Infrastructure collapses in conflict zones. Humanitarian aid can't get through. The internet is blacked out in parts of Iran. In the US, a cyber attack disrupts power grids in the Northeast. People everywhere begin to ask, how did we get here? How did one missile bring us all to this point? Governments scramble for a ceasefire. Peace talks begin in Geneva, but trust is fragile. One wrong move, one misunderstood signal, and the entire world could ignite. Because in the end, this isn't just about one missile. It's about the systems we built, the politics, the posturing, the paranoia. It's about how close we've always been to the brink. Closing tone, thoughtful, somber. So ask yourself this: if one missile can bring us this far, what will it take to bring us back?